Blood was on her neck, her hands, and face.
A Bellevue woman and her husband were hurt during a home invasion, and now investigators are searching for 3 suspects. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Officials are saying that the couple was restrained during this incident.
And they're also saying that the home was apparently targeted. Officers were sent to the 2400 block of Van Lake Court about 11:20 last night. Fox 11's Laura Smith spoke with authorities today, and Laura, it was a scary night.
You're right, Tom. Brown County Sheriff's officials say the retired couple in their 60s is quite shaken up over the incident. The husband and wife were restrained, but officials won't say how. The woman was able to free herself and get help after the incident. However, both suffered minor injuries and were taken to the hospital. They've now been released. Neighbors say this is usually a quiet area, but that changed overnight.
She was bleeding because she was holding the top of her head yet besides, so blood was on her neck, her hands, and face.
Bob Buttrey says his neighbor knocked frantically on his door late Thursday night and asked him to call 911.
I was all full of blood and nervous. That's all. Just called 911 for me. That's all. And she says there's a person in the house with a gun.
Investigators say 3 suspects entered the woman and her husband's home between 9:30 and 10. It all began when the couple heard a knock at the door. A man wanted to talk about a tree hanging over the lot line. He asked the homeowner to take a look.
He felt that was a little strange. He said, I have to get my shoes on. And as he turned, he was overpowered from behind to make entry. And at that time, 2 other male parties followed the first one in.
Captain Jeff Sanborn says those 2 men were disguised. One of the suspects displayed a handgun.
They detained the 2 victims, the husband and wife, at this residence, and restrained them, moved them to a different room of the house. Struggle ensued.
Officials say the suspects were in the house for an hour or more. It appears they were searching for money or valuables.
It appears that they were targeted. There were some comments that were made in the house that leads us to believe that they knew what they were doing and whose house they were in.
Sanborn says it's unknown what the suspects took or what their motive was. They eventually left the residence.
The 3 suspects stole the victim's vehicle from out of their garage and drove that away. That vehicle was found a short time later in the village of Alloway.
Buttrey says he's never had to worry about anything in the neighborhood.
This community is great, our whole area here. We haven't had any problems.
Neighbor Nicole Fenlon, who just moved here a year ago, says the incident has her on edge.
It's pretty scary. We thought this was a fairly safe neighborhood, and I hope it still is, but it's pretty scary.
Now, investigators say it's unknown if the suspects and the victims knew each other. Officials describe the man who knocked on the door as Hispanic, 35 to 40 years old. He was wearing a tan jacket, blue jeans, and black shoes. Now, the other suspects had their faces covered, but are possibly an Asian male wearing a long-sleeve blue shirt and possibly a white or Hispanic male wearing a long-sleeve shirt. If you have any information about the incident, you're asked to call authorities at 448-4230.